on the line tonight, and only victory will do for Alan Stadgich's men to keep their top six dream alive as they face a Sky Blues side who are firing after a dominant victory against the champions on Saturday. Good evening and welcome to HBF Park here on Whadjuk Country as Perth Glory hosts Sydney FC in midweek A-League action. And after going through their summer purple patch of form, Perth Glory, well, they had the rug pulled out from them in their race towards a finals berth. 3 defeats now in 4 have left Perth in a perilous position, now requiring 5 consecutive victories to have any chance of reaching the finals. A visit from Sydney FC, who are certainly surging, not just on the park, but up the ladder as well under boss Ute, whose high-intensity, high-pressure game is creating diamonds. Will it create trophies for the Sky Blues? Well, we will wait and see. And they have answered plenty of questions since Talay's takeover, including victory against the ladder-leading Wellington, a derby destruction of Western Sydney, and a suffocation of the Mariners on Saturday. But can they do the business now on a warm Wednesday night in the West? The Isuzu Ute tunnel cam showing the two foes here. The Sky Blues getting a 4-day rest. Perth Glory just 3 days after that trip to Melbourne, and they went down to the victory. Sydney, well, what a performance they produced on Saturday night against the Central Coast Mariners. Barely gave them an opportunity. Plenty of colour and action here in Perth. They've got a couple more home games to come after this against Adelaide and Western United, but the wins must start to flow here tonight. Four changes for Alan Stadgich's Glory after a 2-1 defeat against Victory on Sunday. 19-year-old attacker Joel Anasmo makes his first A-League start, replacing Jaden Gorman, while Mustiamini is restored to the 11 with Osler pushed to the bench. Couple of changes in the back line with Shushnia returning from injury and Josh Rawlins coming in at left back, meaning Warland and Katrumbis head to the Pine. Super sub David Williams is again on the bench waiting for his 50th A-League goal. What an opportunity for the 19-year-old Joel Anasmo, who lit up HBF Park on his A-League debut in February when he scored against Melbourne City. Now the teenager has been given his first start. A wonderful opportunity to put himself in the frame ahead of next season. Despite that quick turnaround, it is an unchanged side for Ute. That includes Ollie Roos, Girdwood, Reich, Holman and Courtney Perkins, whose hectic week of travel continued after arriving back from Saudi Arabia last week. Leading creator in the league, Joe Lolly, has 7 assists for the campaign. Tonight, he brings up another milestone. It's match number 50 in his A-League career. While on the bench, Nathan Amanatides may get the chance to make another impact after impressing off the bench on Saturday. And speaking of players who impress, Anthony Caceres. So often he doesn't get the credit for his performances at Sydney FC with the international quality around him. But once again this season, all class. The Sydney FC midfielder, he grabbed the opening goal against his old side, the Mariners, on Saturday. Today, it's A-League match 249. Alan Stadgich says it will be Perth Glory's toughest game of the season tonight against the Sky Blues, whose form has been irresistible of late. He knows the Sydney FC juggernaut well, having coached their A-League women's side for 6 seasons between 2008 and 2014, where he won 4 trophies. Ute, he lauded Sydney's best performance of the season against the Mariners on Saturday, but he said this match presents a great test for his side and how quickly they can recover and go again. Alex King in charge of this one. And it's win or bust for Perth Glory tonight. Only 3 points will keep their finals hopes alive, and they will have to overcome recent history. They have not beaten Sydney FC here in Perth in more than 5 years. And already the starting debutant, Joel Anasmo, getting himself involved, and it's a very good evening to 7-time Perth Glory player Daniel McBreen. Good evening, Macca. How's your old side going to end their streak against Sydney tonight?
Well, good evening, Benny, and everyone out there watching. I think it's going to be a difficult task. Plenty of youngsters sprinkled in that starting lineup tonight for Alan Stajic, and although it's mathematically extremely long odds for them to make the finals, it's still there. And I think it's really for pride for them, whereas Sydney FC, they have been one of the form teams in the competition. Only lost 1 in 11, and that was against the league leaders, Wellington Phoenix. They're really finding some form under Ufuk Talay and will be a force, or looking to be a force heading into the finals.
Well, we know when you talk about mathematical possibilities, things are getting quite tough, but still a chance, Perth Glory. You never know what could happen. They win their last 5 matches and strange things happen to the sides in the top 6. They could just squeeze their way in, but they can't be too worried about that. They've just got to get the business done here tonight. They know what's coming for them in the opening stages of this one. The first 15 minutes, Sydney, by far and away the best team in the league. 11 goals, that's almost double the next best. Their pressure and intensity, well, it has caused size problems throughout this season, especially since Ufuk Talay took over for that round 4 trip to Adelaide. He's had a lot of time to bed down that pressing. Here's Matthews finding Holman.
Well, it will be interesting to see how this match pans out. Sydney, such electric starters. Perth Glory, usually electric finishes, so we could be in for a real roller coaster ride here tonight.
And that will be fascinating because Sydney, well, we know both of these sides are going to be somewhat fatigued from recent endeavours and trips from the eastern seaboard, but yeah, if Perth Glory are finishing well and Sydney just use up a little bit of gas early on, it's going to make for an enthralling spectacle here tonight. We know when Sydney FC come to town for any club, it's a very important match on the calendar. Same here in Perth, who haven't tasted victory against Sydney, as I mentioned, since early 2019, which was before that grand final. That's, of course, Sydney won on penalties.
Well, it's like you said, Betty, that players, they won't be looking at that history. They'll be looking at the game on its merits tonight. Some of these Perth players as well will be thinking about the final 5 weeks and some good performances to settle some contracts for next season as well.
Exactly right. Our job to reiterate the history, the players' jobs to rewrite it. And that's what Perth are going to try and do here tonight. Kamau spinning away from Matthews. Good strength from him, but the flag was up anyway for offside, so Sydney will win the free kick. Still chasing his first goal in Perth Glory colours is Bruce Kamau.
You see there, just strayed offside early. Just need to get that timing right. It was a good line from the Sydney FC youngsters as well.
He said the best performance with and without the ball against the Mariners on Saturday night. What a response after that first defeat since Unite round against Wellington just before the international break. And this pass from Amini could invite a bit of pressure coming up against his old side. Spent 1 season with the Sky Blues, did Musti Amini, back in the starting side tonight for Perth. As He's had a really injury-interrupted season. Lolly driving the pass across towards Courtney Perkins, who's getting involved here. This is going to spill for Grant, who knocks it up the line. Here he is, the leading creator in the league. 7 assists, equal with Josh Nisbet. And Bratton finds Courtney Perkins. Caceres. Keeping the ball moving nicely here, Sydney FC. As Lolly just testing out Sale. And it will be a corner on the way for Sydney FC.
Well, he's always so influential for Sydney FC. Joe Lolly, this time coming onto the right foot, trying to fire that ball across.
Corner taken quickly, even too quickly for me to reiterate the Sydney corner stat this year as Perth deal with that first one of the game. They've scored the most goals from corners in the competition with 8 for the campaign. Bratton looked to be a well-delivered ball, and Rawlins got the header away. Courtney Perkins putting the pressure on Benny. Grant links with Courtney Perkins. Good shape on the delivery. And Kucharski just couldn't get enough on the header. And Sydney's pressure is really telling here on Perth.
Well, it was a decent ball, that, wasn't it, to the back post area. Jaden Kucharski's giving away height and size there, but still managed to get up, challenge. That Sydney FC press is relentless, isn't it? It's so difficult for teams to break out through.
Perth find a way here, they just can't, as come out. Had it nicked off his toes by Grant, and now Mack. Here's Bratton, couldn't keep it down.
Much to the enjoyment of the home crowd.
They love giving out raspberries, don't they, the Shed?
So yeah, not going to argue there as the ball comes. It sat nicely for him. Just gone underneath it.
Just 11 goals in his 271 A-League men's matches now, Luke Bratton. That's somewhat surprising. I would have thought he might have scored a few more. He came off his 100th A-League men's match for Sydney on Saturday. Such an integral member of the Sky Blues midfield, and that's what Ufitale's done so well. He's fused the youth with the experience, which was a question for Sydney in previous years. It was more experience than youth as Anasmo gliding out wide, testing out Matthews with his footwork here. Colley and Shushnia. It's this man Colley who's been creating most for them this season. He's got 5 assists. Latchman, that's a lovely pass. Kamau and Taggart. Perth Glory fans cannot believe it. What an opportunity that was for the Socceroo, Adam Taggart, to open the scoring. He is so frustrated.
Well, they were opened up there, Sydney FC, and I think the pass has just made Adam Taggart just have to stop and stall his run, and he just got his feet tangled up, and I think he's a little disappointed with the ball. He wanted it just to be a little bit more in front, take it in his stride. Let off there for Sydney FC as they were opened up.
Of all players with the pass, Daryl Latchman, what a delivery in behind, slid the pass in for Kamau. A warning there for Sydney FC. Been asking the majority of the questions to that point in the game as Daniel Benny now herring down and pressuring Girdwood Reich. Adam Taggart just 1 goal away from his career best in this competition.
Well, you see there in that replay, just had to just stop his run a little and try and adjust his feet as the ball was caught under him rather than just being in front and allowing him to step forward and take it in his stride. And they're the small details that make all the difference.
So that 2013-14 campaign with Newcastle, he scored 16 goals. He's got 15 right now. His best season across his career was with Suwon Blue Wings in Korea. He scored 21 goals in the 2019 K-League campaign and in the Cup competition as well. So there's still a chance of tracking that season down if he's good enough over the final 5 matches. He's got it a good clip this season. Grant. Lolly now, finding Kucharski. Lovely ball. Grant. Mack! Well, that was another piece of magical build-up from the Sky Blues, and it just couldn't quite be finished off that time.
Yeah, it's wonderful play. Great run from Ryan Grant. The ball to pick him out as well. You see there with Kucharski, just lays it on a plate. And as Robbie Mack gets across to the ball, he just slices across it a little, trying to guide it into that far corner.
And you'd expect Macca, he's going to be selected in the Slovakian national side for the Euros in June and July in Germany. He's been part of that squad through their qualification phase for the tournament. So it would be huge for him. I'm trying to think of many other A-League players which would have been current A-League players and playing in the Euros. Maybe Mark Yanko, I don't know if that crossed over when he was at Sydney FC, but it's a huge fillip for this competition that he's being selected at that level.
I'm going to hazard a guess. Your memory's better than mine, Benny.
Well, just having a look at their group, they've got Belgium, Romania, Ukraine. Could be an opportunity for them to go to the knockout stage there. It's not a bad group for the Slovaks. Holman's delivery this time, looking to find fellow young teammate in Jaden Kucharski, the 21-year-old who's giving away the free kick here. He did come off at half-time against the Mariners, did Kucharski. I asked Ufi Talay reason behind that. He said just a tactical decision. He's been one of the youngsters to progress through at Sydney this season. Just the 2 goals, though. He scored those 2 in that first game that Talay took charge against Adelaide. We probably expected maybe more goals after that performance. He hasn't quite found them as of yet.
He got himself a couple of goals in the Australia Cup as well, didn't he, in the pre-season? Definite talent for the future.
Latchman, well, he bamboozled Holman, but not Matthews. He strides into some space here and delivers a pinpoint pass here for Kucharski. Jekadunmi, though, doing his defensive duties. Another young player to come onto the scene this season, the 20-year-old.
I've been impressed with him as well. Plenty of young players around the league stepping up to the plate. Future looks bright for Australian football.
He came through Leicester's academy in the UK and then Caramar when he moved over to Perth. Shane Skinner, the 4th official, just dealing with some inquiries from Ufi Talay.
We'll have to get used to that. He doesn't mind a chat to the officials during the match.
I'm just wondering what would be worse, working at a call centre with the customer service or 4th official. Angry customers, angry coach. Not sure which is worse. As Holman finds Bratton. As you'd expect, Sydney, with the lion's share of possession inside the opening quarter hour, but Perth haven't conceded, which is a big tick for them because Sydney have been very profitable in the first 15 minutes of matches this season. Look at that, final third entries. All the way of the visitors so far. Lolly, Kucharski, now Holman. Caceres just gliding wide and finding Courtney Perkins. Just trying to hook it back and couldn't find the delivery. But speaking of players that have had breakout seasons, Courtney Perkins, surely it's his best in this competition, would you say, Macca?
Yeah, I think he's been sensational this year. He's really found his feet under Ufuk Talay. Loves to get forward. It's not uncommon to see him playing at left back and ending up at right wing to try and get involved in the press, to win the ball back, to make runs. He has had a real breakout, standout season.
And even threw a cheeky dig in at Brisbane Roar. Said that he was enjoying the winning mentality at Sydney FC.
Well, you mentioned Sydney FC with all the stats in their favour in this opening stanza of the match, but it's the best opportunity that fell to Perth Glory, didn't it, in this opening 17 minutes. And that man there, Alan Stajic, will know that he may not get too many chances to break down this Sydney FC press, so you need to take them when they come. He didn't want him to play long there, did he?
He says this side are developing, still very much a work in progress. First season in charge and looking to rebuild this club after some tough years, and under the ownership now of Ross Peligra, is going to be significant moving forward for Perth Glory. I'll be looking to re-sign a number of their players that are off contract. The good news for Glory fans is one of those is not Adam Taggart. He's signed until 2026, so he'll be back for another couple of seasons after this.
Well, it's fair to say it's been a difficult season for Alan Stajic with all the off-field dramas that was going around the club, and they lost players, but they couldn't re-sign them because of the situation they were in. It just seemed to get worse, but all that's in the past now, and they can build.
Meany, Kamau tried to go first time. Has retrieved possession. Rawlins. And now Colley, some space ahead of him. Slides it out to Shushnia, who's bombing on down the left. You don't see that too often. Usually a centre-back, but playing on the left side. Just lacking that position at the moment. Bratton just poked that out to Mack. Now Caceres. moving the ball around beautifully at the moment, Sydney FC. Yeah. 32-10, they lead the head-to-heads between these two sides, so that's somewhat of a mental block that Perth are going to have to overcome here, and they almost had to overcome a deficit. Jaden Kucharski just couldn't quite reach out and bring it under his control.
Well, it was a lovely run for Kucharski, and the ball was almost a peach. Just a couple of inches in that, he gets that right boot of his onto that with a little bit more connection, and it could have been a problem for Ollie Sale.
Sydney wanted the throw. So we go for Perth Glory here. Down goes Lolly. That's a great tackle from Shushnia. Benny, after scoring his first A-League goal, he's going to earn himself a throw here. Ryan Grant didn't want to know anything about it. And due reward for Daniel Benny to grab that first goal, because he's deserved it based on quality he's shown this season. He's been a regular member of this starting side. He's started 18 of 21 matches now, at just 17 years of age. Lolly comes off Shushnia. Sydney appeal for a handball. It looked to be not much doing. The arm seemed to be by the side of Shushnia.
Well, the arm did seem to be in a natural position, but he was very quick to take it away from the scene, wasn't he?
Chris Griffith-Jones in the VAR booth. He'll be giving it a once-over just to make sure. Gets a little bit of good fortune there in front of Courtney Perkins. Kamau dives in. Alex King says it was all ball, but Sydney have won it back anyway.
There you see a natural position. Comes across his body and just collects the hand, and that's a great tackle from Kamau. But then they just give the ball back. All locked in a tight area.
Kucharski swiveling, finding Mack. Caceres with the back heel flick. Kucharski returns the favour, and it's a penalty here as Courtney Perkins is felled. Well, the build-up from Sydney FC once again was exquisite. It was asking question after question of the Perth Glory defence, and eventually they cracked.
Well, what about the footwork leading up to this? The back heel from Kucharski, but even before that, and as Courtney Perkins goes in, you see there is connection with the shin. You see sliding in, Kamau does connect. And the Perth Glory fans may not like it, but there was connection there, Kamau. When you go to ground inside the box, you do take that risk. The lead-up play was fantastic, with Kucharski, Caceres, and Courtney Perkins all involved. It's Joe Lolly from the spot.
It's been 9 matches since he last scored in the A-League. He has got 8 so far for the season. Sale has got a few penalty saves in his A-League career. Can he pull one off here in front of the shed? Lolly converts. The 9-game goal drought is over in the milestone game. His 50th A-League men's match. He grabs another goal this season, and Sydney have the lead, as they so often have this season.
Well, another look at the award of the penalty on the Harvey Norman replay. Lovely back heel from Kucharski. Hughes Kamau went to feet, and then Joe Lolly, he has been the talisman for Sydney FC this season, tucks it away. And the early pressure, and they have their opening goal. But it was just wonderful footwork, wasn't it, in the lead-up. Around the edge of the box, Anthony Caceres, Kucharski with the back heel, and we spoke about Courtney Perkins and his play this season. There he was again, driving into the box, looking to get a ball in and cross, but brought down.
Well, if you thought last season was impressive from Joe Lolly, 6 goals across the campaign for Sydney. He's got 9 this season. He's got 7 assists. It has been most impressive from the Englishman. Benny looking to return the favour for Perth, trying to set one up for Kamau. Shushnia tracks it down, and Shushnia goes down. This will be a free kick for Perth.
Well, it's a good response from Perth. Straight away, it's been a good cross into the box. Some good play from Shushnia. Up high, under pressure from 2 Sydney FC defenders, and Ryan Grant giving away the foul.
For a player out of position on that left edge, Shushnia, he's been impressive so far. He's getting himself about. Coley, the deliverer. It's low towards Benny, and the header away. Kucharski gets there before Kamau could. So Sydney leading, or scoring the first goal, I should say, for the 16th time this season in 23 matches. They've won of the previous 15, 9, 4 draws, 2 losses. And Perth, well, they've been the worst at conceding the first goal 15 times this season. They have come back to win on 2 occasions, which is one of the better records in the league, but we know the stats when you concede first, well, they are against you.
Well, Perth have picked up the most points from losing positions this season with 13, and then with 2 other teams, so it's still hope for them yet.
Courtney Perkins drifting wide. Mack and Lolly maybe trying to let it run on, but Grant was a little deep. Have to go again here through Courtney Perkins. Lolly and Mack, chance for Bratton again. Oh, he almost produced another. Luke Bratton testing out Ollie Sale, who, did he get a finger to it? I thought he may have.
Yeah, I thought he did as well. This one was a little closer than the last one. No, maybe he didn't. We saw one go a lot higher earlier. This one a little bit closer. He liked that one a little bit more, didn't he? He's thinking, well, give me another one and I might be, the range might be found.
Third time lucky maybe for Luke Bratton. As I mentioned earlier, I thought he would have scored more goals. The way he gets those opportunities on the edge of the box. And we're going to see a goal kick here, which gives us a chance to check in with Jacob Burns. Burnsy, what are you made of this opening 28 and a bit minutes?
Yeah, guys, it's been what we expected. Sydney have pressed right from the get-go. Interesting, though, Glory looked to do it, but kind of in patches, and I think you could probably hear from the sidelines Stadger's frustration with it. That in moments they're pressing, and then they're sitting back, and he's barking from the side and trying to get them revved up to get involved in this game. But at some point, I think, you know, there are going to be questions on the brand of football that we're playing here at home. You know, you can't always be going into the locker rooms at half-time down and then coming out in the second half trying to get back in a match. Even with the likes of Taggart up front and what he can do, we all know what he can do with half a chance. But I'd certainly like to see them really press from the get-go every time a Sydney player gets a ball.
Thanks, Burnsy. Your thoughts on that, Macca? Because it's been a problem for Perth this season, conceding the early goal. It was almost a calamity there.
Well, Sydney FC have shown that when you get it right.
Oh, here could be a problem. Taggart's asking the question. Alex King is explaining his decision here. Is Girdwood right? It's going to be a yellow card. Taggart was asking for something a little more red in colour.
Well, I think Alex King was saying there that the ball was travelling away from him, just in behind him, and that there was maybe defenders coming across. It's a rudimentary challenge, to say the least, from Girdwood Reich. He got himself all on the wrong side, and you can see what Adam Taggart thinks. It's a rugby tackle, and he thinks it should be a red.
Luke Bratton having a chuckle. Taggart, he's not having a bar of it. No doubt the VAR will be having a look at this. Now, Alex King, as you said, he's saying the ball's going away from goal.
Well, it's gone behind Adam Taggart, but you have to think, if Girdwood Reich doesn't throw in the rugby tackle, does the ball go behind, or does Taggart pull it in off the chest?
Do you think it's a red card?
I think it could be.
Well, I think you could be right.
I think we need to have another look. We see if the tackle didn't go in, the rugby tackle, would have Taggart been able to take that ball on his chest and go forward with it? Where does the contact first happen? So as that ball comes in here, you're looking to see, well, Taggart would normally there probably try and guide that ball with his chest away across from Girdwood Reich and be in on goal. I would say he's in trouble. And you look at the other defenders as well. Courtney Perkins is nowhere near there. If that shove doesn't happen, I think Taggart takes that ball on his chest and he rolls Girdwood Reich and he's away.
So you're saying red here. Alex King is taking his time. He certainly would have chested that ball down if he wasn't given the tackle here. It was a rugby tackle from Girdwood Reich. There's no doubt about that.
Well, if Adam Taggart takes that ball there on his chest, Girdwood Reich's behind him. He's away, and then an experienced striker that he is, would use his body to shield that ball as he goes towards goal. But you can see there, Girdwood Reich is challenging before that ball comes, so he knocks him out of that line where he would have taken the ball. I think he might be in trouble, the young man here.
Well, he's already been sent off once this season. Remember, that was back a few weeks ago against Brisbane. Missed the trip to Wellington because of it. Gee whiz, this is taking far too long. If he's taking this long, well, he should stick with his original decision, but wow. Come on, this is far too long, isn't it, Macca?
Well, here we go.
So Alex King is going to walk over. How clear is he? He's going to the back pocket. And for the second time this season, Jake Girdwood Reich has given his marching orders. Absolutely shattered he is. He has been a shining light for Sydney FC this season, but it's a dark moment today, and now Perth Glory get close to an hour against 10 men.
Well, it's a decision I can see why it was given. He got caught the wrong side, and then you see he's in the back of Taggart already as that ball's coming, as Taggart wants to bring the ball in. And that's what's stopped the play. It's another learning moment for the young man. Got caught wrong side and then was trying to get back and crashed into the back of Taggart, which really did stop a potential goal-scoring opportunity.
So Lacerda comes on. We're just going to get confirmation. So unfortunately, gee, you got to feel for Kaczarski. Subbed off at half-time for a tactical decision on Saturday. It's the same story here. He only gets 34 minutes. And Gio Colley, well, this would be perfect for Perth. And Colley, well, he did put it on target, and Redmayne had to push it around the post.
It was a decent effort from Collie, wasn't it? Andrew Redmayne was at full stretch. It's a decent save as well.
Well, hasn't this match just taken a big shift in complexion? Remembering that both these two sides fatigued after just playing a few days ago. Sydney got to do it now with 10, and Amini, that pass looked too heavy for Collie. Now Taggart, lovely ball. Majeka done me. And Sydney have done the job defensively, and Andrew Redmayne loves it.
Well, every Perth player then went to the back post. Have a look as the ball goes through. He just looks to knock it across, and look, it's all white Sydney shirts. All the Perth Glory players are at the back post, asking for him to just dink it, but someone has to get across that front post area.
And very nearly, Perth Glory with another opportunity. Sydney have managed to clear their lines, but Perth are back on the ball, and Shushnia over the top. Bratton gets the clearance away as Benny was breathing down his neck. The atmosphere has just lifted here around HBF Park. Benny. Rawlins. Oh, they are queuing up at the moment, Perth. It was Taggart again, and it's another corner on the way here. It was the sky blue wave early on, now it's the purple wave.
Gabriel Lacerda does well there. He gets across and gets a toe out. But all of a sudden, the complexion of this game has changed, and Perth Glory feel they can get something.
Collie to the back post where Taggart was, and he just didn't get a good piece of it. Yeah, absolutely shattered. Jake Girdwood right. You got a feel for him. It's been a tough recent period, but as you said, Macca, he's going to learn a lot. He is just 19 years of age, and well, let's be fair, outside of the red cards, he's been an outstanding player for Sydney this season. As Benny spills wide, cuts it in towards the middle, and Nasmo almost on starting debut. He got one on debut, he almost had one on starting debut. Kamau and Shushnia. You just sense Perth have to take this opportunity, or one of these opportunities, before halftime, because they're really flowing at the moment. And Taggart is shooting. He's blocked off by Matthews.
Well, they're under immense pressure now, Sydney FC, aren't they? But I thought Talley, if he can get this team through to half-time at 1-0, with Sydney's team down, and say, the last two games we had a red card, we saw the game out, 1-1. It takes a Herculean effort. They've done it before. They know they can do it. It's just whether or not they can withstand the Perth barrage that we will expect in the second half.
Well, the additional challenge for Sydney is they only arrived yesterday, so body clocks are saying to Sydney it's currently 10:25 p.m, where a lot of them would usually be tucked up in bed. So that's the additional challenge for Sydney. I did ask Wolfie Talley about that. He said, well, I'm used to it. I was Wellington for 4 years, but this is a test for the players. Don't get the time frame to acclimatise and get the body clocks sorted. Just got to go and try and snatch the 3 points and get out of there. At the moment, they've got the lead, but they've got plenty of time and plenty of pressure to soak up. Latchman to an Asma. Now Amini.
Well, it just changes the whole way Sydney FC have to play, isn't it? They can't do that full press, the man down.
Rawlins, delivery, has some shape but some depth as well, which finds Shushnia and Collie. Jekadunmi. Rawlins' ball blocked off. Well, Courtney Perkins goes down. Rawlins is going to be lucky. It was quite a agricultural challenge, you'd say. He tossed him to the ground, and now Benny comes across and just crunches into Lolly. And turned it back over via Nasmo.
Well, we heard Jacob Burns saying that he'd like to see Perth Glory press hard right from the start of the match. Well, there isn't a better time now, is there? This is where you can say, we have the extra man, we can go. We don't need to sit in the block anymore. Let's put them under pressure. Don't allow Sydney FC to have the ball in a controlled manner.
Lacerda and Courtney Perkins just measures this chip towards Matt. Jekadunmi, they had to be careful because it was a little bit of an awkward situation.
Well, you can see Adam Taggart there, just imploring his teammates.
Problems, Lolly. Of all the players you would expect to nail their touch, you would expect Joe Lolly could do it in that situation.
He just mistimes it, doesn't he? I was just about to say, Adam Taggart's imploring his teammates to step up and press, but if they're not going to put pressure on the ball here, this is what you'll invite Sydney FC to do. If they've got time, able to face forward and pick a pass, you're going to ask them to cause problems. They have the numbers, they need to step up and get Sydney FC facing backwards, put pressure on them, don't let them get their head up.
Perth fans wanted the flag up. Lolly finds Mack. And now Caceres, little dink towards Mack. It is a tight angle and just got his feet in a muddle there, did Mack. And it is going to be a goal kick at the end of that.
Well, it's a nice play again around the edge of the box. Anthony Caceres again. I'd like to, if that finished with a goal, I'm sure we would have seen VAR have a look at that offside at the start of that move.
Flick from Kamau onto a Nasmo. Entering the final couple of minutes of regulation time in this first half, and I can tell you we're going to get a bit of stoppage time. So don't go and make that cup of tea just yet. And Nasmo glides past Matthews, and then the final pass through the groans from the crowd. Taggart, that's a very good toe in from Bratton. He's watched the movements of Taggart for many years in this league. He identified well what was coming. And Lolly almost made it out of a three-player Glory pincer move. And his ankle hasn't made it out of it unscathed. This is a concern, a serious concern. Does he want the VAR to have a look at this, or is this a real concern here for Lolly?
I'm not too sure. There's so many legs flying around in there. Who was the culprit? A couple of minutes now to half time. Potentially also be a little bit of a breather. They've been under pressure. Soak a little bit of the pressure out of the game.
Perkins. His skills there to work his way through. Now Matt, hands went up, flag didn't. Now it does. Oh, and the question being asked here, should have advantage being played here. The flag did go up. Shushnia had acres of space to gallop into.
You can see there, it's clearly offside. I know referee's assistants are told to keep the flag down for the phase of play, but any more obvious that one.
Well, Macca, do you believe it? 3 minutes of additional time. I thought we were going to get more than that based on the VAR decision, but obviously that's what they worked out. It was just 3 minutes.
I think it was about right, wasn't it?
Oh, you could say so. I didn't have a stopwatch on it, so I'm not going to go any deeper into that. Dunme just wasn't on the same wavelength as Rawlins.
Well, it's all about half-time now for Sydney FC. Let's just get there with the lead intact. And they can reassess the situation as a group.
It's going to be a Perth throw here, deep into Sydney territory. So they got one final opportunity to create here. Important half-time for Sydney, but also for Perth as well, in the sense that sometimes when you're playing against 10 men, you can potentially overthink things. So Alan Stadgic with an opportunity to get a message to his players in what is a must-win match for Perth Glory. Defeat here, and their finals hopes are dust. There is no coming back from it. Even if they win here, their finals hopes could be ended very, very soon. But well, they want to do everything they can. Come out. Serta got it away, and the strike from last year's Goal of the Year winner, Gio Colli. Wasn't going to win the award this time around, as he couldn't keep it down.
Go! Go!
They're certainly being challenged, Sydney FC, in the last 4 matches with a couple of red cards, so always good to have different scenarios thrown at you. And that is what they're going to have to face in the second half. They've got through to half-time with the lead intact. But Perth Glory, they come to life in the second half, especially here at HBF Park. And they'll be looking to do so here again. It's Sydney FC via Joe Lolly in his 50th A-League men's match. He put them ahead from the penalty spot. Half-time at HBF Park. Perth Glory 0, Sydney FC 1. And we are going to take a quick break. We'll be back right after this on Paramount Plus to wrap up all the first half action. We'll see you very soon.
Over the next month, football fans won't be getting a lot of sleep. In 30 days, we're jamming in 89 games. It's a monster April on Network 10 and Paramount Plus.
Courtney Vine gets on the score sheet.
There's the Liberty A-League Women's Finals, the race for the finals in the Isuzu Ute A-League Men's.
And he goes low and hard to the bottom left-hand corner.
Scottish Cup and FA Cup semi-finals.
But the young man, can he make himself a hero? He has done. It's Manchester United's quarter-final.
The AFC Under-23 Asian Cup, AFC Cup, Asian Champions League. All the big guns are lining up for a marathon month. Over 133 hours, whistle to whistle.
Winds up, and Russo scores.
April is football on 10 and Paramount Plus. Sleep is overrated.
Don't miss the superstars of the Liberty A-League Women and Isuzu Ute A-League Men. Every round, every game, live on Paramount Plus. Sign up today for a 7-day free trial for new customers only. Terms and conditions apply. Visit ParamountPlus.com for details. Every round, every game, live on Paramount Plus. The A-League All-Stars is back. The stars of the Isuzu Ute A-League Men and Liberty A-League Women will take on the giants of English football. Newcastle United, Arsenal Women FC in a historic doubleheader at Marvel Stadium in Melbourne on May 24. You can get your tickets today at Ticketek.
Now for Torpy, and this time it's Caitlin Torpy's goal. Gorry, oh that's a lovely little touch, and that's goal number 6. Driven back in, and there it is, her 4th. Rasso winds up, and Rasso scores. There it is for Saya, and she's got it this time. At last, she says.
Welcome to the Hungry Jacks halftime show, and it comes to you from the west here at HBF Park, where it is Sydney FC leading 1-0. But Daniel McBreen, this was the match-defining moment when Jake Girdwood-Reich was given his marching orders following a VAR review.
Yeah, well, I think they got to the right decision in the end. VAR. Adam Taggart was clearly going to take that ball in his stride towards goal. Girdwood-Reich found himself on the wrong side, and Alex King was called over to have a second look and decided, yep, that needs to be upgraded, and I think they got the decision right. Unlucky for the young man. He's been sensational for Sydney this season, but plenty of work for both these teams to do in the second half.
The lights have been dimmed. The projector is playing in the Perth Glory dressing room. That is, well, that's fantastic access to see Alan Stadjic is getting the message through to his side. And Ufi Talay is doing likewise for this Sydney FC side, who are going to have to play with 10 men in the second half. Macca, as we see on the Harvey Norman highlights, it was Perth who had the best early chance.
Well, it was all Sydney and all the pressure. They had all the field possession and everything, and then that chance came to Adam Taggart, and you can see his dismay with the ball that he got. It was just a little tough, and then Sydney FC, they started to turn the switch and really apply the pressure. Robert Mack on that occasion just slicing the ball a little wide, and a lot of the play was coming down that right-hand side, particularly Joe Lolly involved. The ball striking the arm there, but this was the moment that they really broke open Perth Glory. Lovely play from Caceres and Kucharski, and Courtney Perkins, who's been great for Sydney this season, just got a toe in before Kamau, who dived in with the lunge, and it was too late. See there, just collects with Courtney Perkins, and that's enough for him to go down, and that man Joe Lolly steps up to the plate and makes no mistake. And it it all seemed to go a little pear-shaped for Sydney FC after that.
Yeah, Joe Lolly ending a 9-match goal drought, which is quite surprising because he's having his best goal-scoring season in the A-League. That was goal number 9 for the season for him. And this was the moment that everything really shifted towards Perth Glory. Girdwood Reich initially given a yellow. Adam Taggart was saying to clear red, ref. Alex King was happy with the yellow to start with, and then he went over to the VAR screen, got some messages through from Chris Griffith-Jones and upgraded the yellow to a red card, much to the delight of the home fans. And then Perth Glory, well, they just started to create chance after chance, but in the end, they weren't able to break down the sky blue defence, and that means at half-time, Sydney holding on to this 1-0 lead. But an entertaining game, Macca, as you can see via the XG.
Well, yeah, both teams have created opportunities. Perth have really stepped up the game with their opportunities. As you can see, their shots at goal, they were trailing early doors with that to Sydney FC. And obviously the red card has had a huge impact and really swayed momentum in this match, and will be interesting to see how that plays out in the second half.
Well, we are looking forward to the second half. We're also looking forward to hearing from Perth Glory's football director, who's downstairs with Jacob Burns. Thank you, Jacob. Thanks to Stan Lazaridis. Now, Macca, we're going to have a look at the P+ player index and Andrew Redmayne. Well, he is leading the way. He's been pretty good tonight. He's been solid. That save where he sprung into action to deny Gio Colley his best moment.
Well, it was a pretty quiet opening stanza for him, wasn't it? But then all of a sudden, the barrage came in the last 15 minutes, and you can see there the 5 spots are into space from both teams. It shows you the changing dynamic of the game.
Well, we have got the second half coming up very, very soon. That was the Hungry Jacks halftime show. We're looking forward to the second 45. It's on the way right after this from HBF Park.
get ready to drive down to the Isuzu Ute drive camp. Come around the stadium right now, you know what to do. You drive along in the Isuzu D-Max or the MD-Max. You see the Mini D-Max, now's your chance to drive with your Mini B. Well done. All right. Nice safe driving. Oh, not too reckless out there on the roads. Another Longo cam, drive cam now bold. High energy driving by this side. That looks like a fun car. Wave them on the mountain. Doing a fantastic job. Give a round of applause for our drive cam. They're back on the field. Give it up for your Perth Glory. Big second half coming up. Isuzu D-Max, get out of the inventory. First style Isuzu D-Max. Go your own way. Heavyweights find a balance. Very excitement adventure in the 7th seat. Isuzu Heavyweights. Go your own way.
Now for Torpy, and this time it's Caitlin Torpy's goal. Gorry, oh that's a lovely little touch, and that's goal number 6. Driven back in, and there it is, her 4th. Rasso winds up, and Rasso scores. There it is, Masaya, and she's got it this time. At last, she says.
Welcome back to HBF Park. Perth Glory making a half-time change, and it means that Jared Carluccio is into the game. Adam Taggart had his chances in the first half. Wasn't able to find the back of the net for Perth Glory. They need to do so in the second half, Daniel McBreen, if they want to keep their faint finals hopes flickering. But the advantage is they are up against the 10 men of Sydney FC.
Well, that's right, Benny. They're a man up, and if there is a team that can come back in the second half, well, it is Perth Glory. Done it so many times this season. 74% of their goals this season have come in the second half, so there are a few things that are working in their favour.
Well, for a moment, Benny was going to create one there via Taggart, and Rawlins is going to earn a corner here. Yeah, so they've scored 22 in the final half hour, which is by far and away the best, but as you said, almost 3/4 of the goals in the second half. Bruce Kamau, who gave away the penalty, he is sacrificed with Carluccio coming on for his opportunity. The man on loan from Western Sydney. It's Benny at the near post. Does he earn another corner? He has. They've taken it short. Amini just over the head of Latchman. Shushner's going to track this down. Shushner. And Amini. Jekadunmi. Jekadunmi playing alongside Latchman, the two centre-backs. Taggart almost angling that into the path of Benny, who would be looking for goals in back-to-back matches. Matthews just getting the communication right with Lacerda, who of course came on after Girdwood Reich was red carded. Jaden Kucharski, the man replaced, to allow Sydney to have the centre back on the field. Colley, it's deep, and it just dropped on Taggart.
You can see the urgency from Adam Taggart there, taking the throw in. He wants to get this game underway.
Colley did well to keep it inside, and then the pressure came from Shushnia, who's been most impressive on his return from injury. Been out since early March. A welcome return for Alan Stadgich to have him back in the side. Dunme and Rawlins. Sweetly timed pass to Carluccia. Colley floats it. Rawlins went first time. Maybe a cross shot. He had men in the middle queuing up.
Well, he was trying to play that across the 6-yard and just got it wrong. It was the right idea. Got himself into a good position. And just the execution lets him down.
So just confirmation there. So Girdwood Reich off with that red card. So Lacerda is slotted in there. You can see Lacerda. He is not playing at striker, but he came on for Kucharski, who was playing up there. And that's the reshuffle that Sydney have had to undergo. Not a bad idea, that pass in behind for Taggart, but Sydney have won it back, and now there's space here for Caceres. Bratton. Lolly clips it up towards Courtney Perkins, and the ball just spun back infield, and Courtney Perkins is bearing down on goal. He had Robert Mack in the middle, now Lolly. Mack trying to swivel, and Perth, well, they got themselves in a very precarious situation there and managed to weave their way out of it.
Well, I think it was Daniel Benny who thought the ball was just going to bounce over the sideline.
Ryan Grant. Oh, miscommunication between Sale and Latchman. Was it that thick Kiwi accent, Macca?
Well, I'm not sure about that, but certainly trying to give Sydney FC a bit of a leg up, aren't they? Switching off near the sideline, miscommunication there with a simple ball across the box. There's another look at that mix-up. It's just a simple ball in. Yours, mine. No. Okay. Well, Galen, you step in and rescue us, please.
Yeah, sailing close to the wind, Perth, to start this second half. A 2-goal deficit, well, that'd almost be fatal, even though Sydney are down to 10 men. He's going for a run forward, but he's given the ball away, and that means there's a gaping hole at the back, and he's going to have to try and fill that in here. He rushes back. Colley put himself in the centre back role just to ensure there was a couple back for Glory, which was intelligent work from the midfielder.
can hear what the Glory fans think. They want the Perth team to pick up the pace and really test this Sydney FC outfit. It's a little bit pedestrian for them at the moment.
Meany via the head of Holman. Lucio to an Asmo. Shushnia, neat delivery. Lacerda's header. The drive from Amini. Looks as though there's going to be another change here for Perth. Alan Stajic not happy with the start to the second half, seemingly. Carluccio drifts wide, sends Grant left and right. Shushnia. And Colley, the back heel. Bratton clears it away only as far as an Asma. Rawlins. Benny. And lovely delivery from Rawlins, but the header, a diving one from Grant. Got it away from danger, but here come Perth again, wave after wave from the men in purple. Carluccio, is this a penalty? Oh, can you believe it? Alex King says no pen.
Well, I tend to agree with Carluccio on first bite there. That little look there from Ryan Grant almost gives him away. Let's have another look. I thought he just clipped the foot there of Carluccio. The left foot. Let's have another look. There's contact there for me. He steps on his foot, doesn't he?
Well,
and I'd say that the contact there is just as much as the contact for the Courtney Perkins penalty.
That's what I was going to say, Mac. Now, whether you agree if it's a penalty or not, when you're looking at consistency in this particular match of football, the penalty in the first half, the contact was almost identical to the contact there. And it seems as though we're going to get another penalty here. Why is there always so much drama here in the West?
They wouldn't want it any other way. I think when Alex King has a look at this, he'll see that it's very similar to the previous. Look here at the left foot of Carluccio as he goes to place it down there. It's only a little touch, but it's enough for me to just put his foot away from being planted, and you see it's only a small move. I think that's enough to take him down.
So you can see he gets clipped, goes down. Is King just looking whether he takes a little bit more of a dive on the end, Mac? Is that what Alex King is debating here with Chris Griffiths-Jones?
Well, I think the touch is enough. We'll see.
And it's no pen. So that's obviously what he's decided here.
Waste of space.
He's saying that he's gone down too easily. Perth Glory fans cannot believe it. They've got a corner. And the delivery is low from Colley. Now Amini on surge to shoot. Carluccio. Little dink over the top. And it's a bit of aerial ping pong for the moment as Mac now. Shushnia is going to go into the book here. There's a lot to keep track of at the moment here. Shushnia is asking Alex King to have a look at it. He's not going to review this yellow card, but there'll be plenty of debate about that non-penalty award.
Well, Alexander Shushnia and Adam Taggart are saying that he never touched him at all there. Yeah, he did lunge out at him, but there was no contact. But Mac will be saying, well, I had to jump to get out of the way of the challenge.
Well, here he is, the super sub, Davey Williams. And Riley Warland is coming on, so immediately he goes into the book, Shushnia. And immediately he's substituted. They won't have any issues there, Perth Glory, with a player on a yellow ticket. Ryan Grant coming in from the angle. David Williams, as I mentioned, onto the field. So he comes on for Joel Anasma. For a player playing out of position, Shushnia offered Perth Glory quite a lot down the left. Now they get Warland out there. Going to add some energy from the bench. So too is this man, Williams. I was going to mention it before, Macca. Perth Glory, do they just lack a little bit of spark when Stefan Kolakovsky's not out there on the field? Because we're talking about maybe being a little bit slow, a little one-paced. It does seem to have an impact, doesn't it, as Redmayne launches this into the night sky.
Well, it does.
Oh, this could be fortuitous. Taggart in on goal. He's saying there was a touch. Referee disagrees and the discontent grows for Perth Glory.
Well, he hasn't agreed too much today with Alex King, has he? It's Davey Williams with the block, and he does well, Taggart, to take the ball across the defender. I'm not too sure if Redmayne does get a touch or not. We'll have to have another look at that one here. This will tell us a little bit more. No, I don't think he did he?
We'll get the Snicko out. It was tight. Redmayne did look a little sheepish. He's having a little chuckle now. Look at that, second half possession. Wow, 84% with Perth Glory. Taggart extending himself to get there in front of Caceres. Now Amini to have sprayed this a little too far in front of Carluccio, but there's a corner. There's energy reverberating around HBF Park. They are urging their side to find this equaliser.
Well, we're moving to the final 30 minutes. This is Perth Glory time. You said it, Benny. 22 goals in that final 30 minutes.
It's purple rain time, Matt. It's been raining goals for Perth in this period. Carluccio! Oh, almost. Not quite in the final half hour.
Well, he just dragged across, didn't he? Just pulled across the ball. Time and space was there, and he just went for power. And he knows it was a good opportunity to hit the target at least and test Andrew Redmayne.
They need to turn those shots at goal into an addition on that scoreboard up above. Caceres, that is classy. Two classy touches from Anthony Caceres. He drives on and he just gets pulled a little bit by Majeka Dunme. It was all legal according to Alex King, but he relieved some pressure there, did Caceres.
That was beautiful technique from Caceres again, wasn't it? Two touches that took two players directly out of the game. Just didn't have the pace to run away with it.
Warland. Carluccio. Taggart. Snapshot. Again, couldn't get it on target.
Just didn't quite connect, but it's good play from Perth Glory. It's exactly what they need to do. Move this Sydney FC defence around and wait for an opportunity with space. It's going to be a long 30 minutes for the boys in white tonight. As Perth Glory continue to move the ball, shift that defence.
So you can see what Alan Stajic is unimpressed about. It's the time wasting, which he is noticing is creeping in here, which you can understand from a Sydney perspective. They'll push the barriers as far as they can go. Down to 10 men, they'll want to take as much time out of this game as possible. And that's what Alex King is going to have to be aware of here, the referee. Sydney, incredibly, only 2 clean sheets this season, which is the equal worst in the league. There's a few teams on that. And currently, a chance to make it 3 and back-to-back clean sheets. So they've certainly found a way to tighten up defensively. And as we've mentioned, this is Perth Glory's time. The final half hour. Carluccio, Amini has a lash. And Caceres arrives with possession. And Mack has it taken off him by Latchman. And then Bratton floats it to Lolly. So it looks like Nathan Amanatides is going to come on. Really good impact from him off the bench on Saturday against the Mariners. Tale said he could have had a hat-trick in that time. The amount of chances he created, they'd love just one tonight as Taggart turning Lacerda and then just fluffs his lines. Just has been one of those nights for Adam Taggart. Macca, you'd know what this is like as a striker.
I've fluffed my lines quite a few times, Benny. Thanks for rubbing that in, mate. But you don't want to give him too many opportunities. He's shown a good turn of pace here. He's got Lacerda turned inside out. And you see it just comes off his right foot as he goes to strike it with the left.
So Nathan Amanatides is going to come on, the Adelaide product for Robert Mack. I was more so referring to Macca. Just one of those nights as a striker when things just don't fall into place.
Trying to dig his way out of a hole here. But yeah,
and I've got to go back.
There's plenty of time. Look, there's plenty of time left for Perth Glory. They need to just keep doing what they're doing at the moment, moving that ball around, working the defence.
David Williams arriving at the back post. Warland! What a chance for his first A-League goal, Riley Warland, and it just swerved away from goal.
Well, this is the problem so far for Perth, is that they aren't really testing Andrew Redmayne. They haven't hit the target. Everything's going wide. They really need to start making that man in pink work.
So you can hear the Perth Glory fans are making it known. Stajic is back, blowing up. He's counting the seconds here. The man in charge is happy with it at the moment.
Well, you said it, Ben, that Andrew Redmayne's going to take as much time as he can until he's told to hurry it up by Alex King. And that's already got the Perth faithful riled up.
Well, let's be fair, until he gets a yellow card, he's going to really stretch things out as long as he can between breaks in play. So that first half, a lot of that was when Sydney were playing with 11 men. And that possession was something around sort of 65-35 when it was 11 on 11. So just shows you the switch. And Sydney have had to adjust since going a man down. If you did miss it, Jake Girdwood, Reich sent off for a last man challenge on Adam Taggart. Just after the 30-minute mark. Lolly, neat pass to Holman. Amanatides on the angle. It was closed down by Sale, but the 20-year-old who was previously with Adelaide United, he was signed by Sydney in the off-season after he spent some time through the ranks with West Adelaide. He actually signed for Grimsby Town. It didn't end up eventuating, and then he came back, joined Adelaide United, and then Sydney FC.
You can see from that last attack, he offers a little bit more pace up front, which Sydney FC were lacking. Might be the one outlet on a counter-attack.
Warland's delivery just above Williams. I've aged Nathan Amanatides by a couple of years, just 18 years of age. He was playing for the Joeys last year as Taggart finds Williams. Amini out to Warland. Taggart, Williams, snapped at the shot, gets it on the second attempt. Now Carluccio, here's Taggart, they get in each other's way. Queuing up to try and find this equaliser as Lolly held his footing originally and now goes into the book as Mustiamini for the little touch on the ankles of Lolly.
Well, it's starting to get a feel, isn't it? It's not going to be Perth Glory's night. They're queuing up to get a strike away. And here's that foul from Mustiamini, just clips the heels of Joe Lolly to slow him down. Professional foul. But they're moving that ball around Perth, getting bodies in the right places. They just can't quite seem to test Andrew Redmayne. I'm going to give credit to Sydney FC's desperate defending as well.
Caceres. Now Amanatides. Perth Glory thwart Sydney on a rare foray forward. Williams. And he gets bumped to the floor by Caceres. A little too vigorously for Alex King, and there's a yellow ticket. So yellow cards being handed out quite regularly in the last few minutes.
Well, he looked exhausted there, didn't he? Anthony Caceres, you can see clearly a professional foul. And it's not very often these A-League players play midweek games. So the game on the weekend and the travel to Perth for both these teams. And now a midweek match. Sydney FC down to 10 men after 30 minutes or so. It's a big ask. Fatigue will really be kicking in, and as you said, their body clock is now kicking into 11:15. So all set for Perth Glory.
Warland, Majeka done me! He's done it again! 2 goals this season for the young defender. He got the equaliser against Victory back in round 11, and he's done it against Sydney FC, and we're back level in the West.
Well, I was just saying it's all set for Perth Glory here. And he has been sensational tonight on the Harvey Norman replay. Look at that wonderful ball to the back post, and he gets up strong and early. Just gives that ball into the back post, and Majeka Domni, who's been fantastic tonight, thinks about celebrations and says, no, let's get back. We're going to win this one. He got up strong in the air over the top of Courtney Perkins. It's a great header into the top near corner. No time for celebrations. Let's go. We're going to win this one.
Well, he made his debut that night against Victory, came on and scored the equaliser, and he absolutely went off. This time around, totally different reaction to the equaliser, and you well and truly noted that there, Macca. He wasn't thinking, I'm happy with a point. He's thinking we need 3 here tonight. Kalen Majeka-Dunme. He has had a huge impact for Perth this season. And here come the glory. It is glory time, and they've got another goal in the final half hour. That's 23 for the season.
Offside there, but you just had a feeling when that foul was given away from Anthony Caceres, as we have another look at the leap. He gets up early before Courtney Perkins and meets it crisply with a header. And that's experience from the young man. Let's go. Don't worry about celebrating. That's old hat now. I've scored before. You just had a feeling when the foul was given away and the close-up went to Anthony Caceres. He looked fatigued. He looked tired. And you just felt, okay, maybe this is starting to take its toll on Sydney.
Maybe he just gave the shed a wink and said, well, I'll be back celebrating in 15 minutes or so. Perth Glory fans will be hoping they can grab the goal a little sooner. I believe Alan Stajic is still unimpressed with the time wasting. Coley flips it to Benny. Warland, delivery low and easily dealt with by Ryan Grant. Majeka-Dunme. Good win in the air from Warland. Taggart! Redmayne with a point-blank save, and Adam Taggart is wondering how he has not scored tonight.
Well, he's had a number of opportunities, hasn't he? And this ball has worked for them tonight. A good header down, and then just a little touch from Davey Williams is enough. And Adam Taggart, he does hit the target, but Redmayne's up to the task.
Majeka-Dunme getting up and about again. Another corner here. Another one for Perth. Final 15 minutes upon us here. Taken short by the Glory. Warland. Courtney Perkins away to Amini. And now Coley. Curling. Just a little too heavy for Benny. Now, Alex King's running over here, I believe. We just see this chance for Taggart.
There's the ball that was a little too heavy, but Alex King did just run down to Andrew Redmayne and say, let's get a little wriggle on. Wow, look at that. Wow. I'd like to know how many times in a game Adam Taggart has had 11 shots and still hasn't registered one.
Well, that's one of the most extraordinary stats we've seen this season. That's staggering. And it's not like Adam Taggart's just been firing off haymakers. They've all been pretty good chances. Sometimes a little unlucky. Sometimes just that final touch letting him down. Andrew Redmayne as well has put a stop to a few. Williams, gee, he's added quality, hasn't he? Carluccio's delivery. His intricate passing in and around the box, his movement. David Williams, at 36 years of age, Macca, all that experience nestled in that brain of his. It is working a treat for Perth Glory tonight, but this season as well, he scored 4 goals off the bench, the best in the league. A 5th tonight would make it 50 for him in the A-League, but more importantly, keep Perth's finals hopes alive.
substitutions have made a difference for Perth. Lucio's been involved heavily. Eddie Williams.
Lamini. In the end, rather tame end to that forward push from Perth Glory. And we'll go and check in with Jacob Burns. Burnsy, how are you going on the sideline? What a dramatic conclusion to this one.
Well, it's edgy of your seat stuff now, isn't it? It's amazing what a send-off can do when it's really turned this game on its head. Sydney, I must say, are hanging on by a thread now. There's some really tired legs out there, and I can see Uthi and Driller having a little chat on what they may be able to do to nullify these waves of attack from Glory. And if you're sitting where I am, you think it's only a matter of time before one of these 11 opportunities that Taggart has shot or created, one will go in. It's certainly looking that way.
Thanks, Burnsy. Yeah, it seems inevitable that Perth will find a second goal, but Sydney, they are desperately clinging on. Surprising that they haven't made any more changes. Happy to stick with the men that are out there. Joel King also on the bench. Fabio as well, more of an attacking player, but they've got Glass and Max Burgess as well. Players out on their feet after that comprehensive win against the Mariners on Saturday. Looking to manoeuvre this Sydney FC backline. And here comes a corner. Another set piece for Sydney to defend here. The corners. Well, the difference between the sides is quite staggering. 10 for Perth, 1 for Sydney. Just piling up in this second half. Sydney holding firm at the moment. And Williams, Amini at the back post. Latchman was looking to lash it in. Now Taggart. There's shot number 12.
Well, it's quite remarkable the amount of opportunities he's had. You know how prolific he is and how dangerous. He just can't quite seem to hit one true. You see there, he's in a good position. It's a great first touch, and he's just falling backwards as he tries to get the strike away, which takes away any power that he could get.
The Manatides, he could be the man for Sydney FC if they can pull this out of the fire. He's got pace to burn. He gets one chance in this second half in the final 10 or so minutes. Could bring a stunning Sydney FC victory. But Perth Glory still pushing. Benny. It's just been pushed out on a wide angle by Lacerda. He's done well, the Brazilian centre-back.
He's done very well there. Under pressure, soak up some valuable seconds. Would have been very easy just to clear that over the sideline, and Perth just come back at them again.
Williams, Taggart returns it to Williams. Does he get there? Well, he does, to ensure that it's not a goal kick. So Perth can keep Sydney hemmed in here.
Well, I thought that was a strange one. He was able to stretch and keep it in play with the left, but I thought he could have just stretched and tried to dink it to the back post. Maybe he just couldn't quite get his body and thought it was better to kick the ball from a goal kick and waste some more time.
Three points required here for Perth Glory if their finals quest is to stay alive, at least for the moment. Lucio and Colley. Another if that stat doesn't show you the domination of a team of 11 against a team of 10, not many will. It's a massive turnaround from the opening half hour of this game, which Sydney really dominated in possession. But here is a rare moment for them to push forward. Lolly to Caceres. Latchman has to be careful. So too Majeka Dunme. Ice in his veins there. He had to have a strong boot there to ensure it wasn't going back into his own net.
Well, lovely interplay between Caceres and Lolly. And that ball, Majeka Dunme had to get a touch there, didn't he?
Johnny Contrumbas coming on for Rawlins. Straight switch there at right back. Sydney with the corner. They'll be happy with this situation. So you can see there the Sydney FC bench watching on, not being summoned at the moment as Lolly skims this one. Back post. Lacerda got some good height. Did he also get some knees into the back of Amanatidis, who's getting to his feet because he has to, because Perth are going quickly. Warland. Williams returns it to Warland. And Taggart, great first touch to initially get it under control, but Sydney now through Lacerda. Oh, what a win from Warland, and keeps it inside. Williams. He sees Redmayne out, and he went for the spectacular. Davey Williams. That would have been quite remarkable.
Well, I'm not sure if he was having a look. I'll tell you what, I'm not sure if he's looking for Taggart or if he's going for goal there. You know, if he just didn't whip that left foot around it, but Andrew Redmayne was struggling.
Well, if he hits it near post, I think he scores.
I think he was trying to bend that around to Taggart.
You got to credit, though, the work of Warland. Keep the ball from Sydney FC's clutches. Time running out, though, for Perth. They have not beaten Sydney in the West since January 2019. More than 5 years. As Trent Osler comes to the sideline on his 22nd birthday. Is he going to be the man? Come off the bench here and get his birthday wish. So Majeka Dunme, he's leading the P+ player index. It's all purple. Well, they've had all the ball in the second half, so that's probably going to help the statistics. Williams pass. It's not going to hurt Perth. Well, that will. Challenge from Colley. Is it his last involvement? We'll see who is replaced here. Trent Osler coming on. That will be Mustiamini, who is replaced. So happy birthday, Trent Osler, 22 today. Can he make it even more special? This is a young man who has had to overcome a couple of ACL injuries, a bad ankle issue. Spent a couple of years out of the game because of an ACL that he then re-injured 10 months later. Did it again. Now he's able to play in the A-League. It's quite an impressive story. If you want to hear more about that, you can head to the Perth Glory website. They've done a feature on him as part of their profiles.
Well, certainly shows incredible resilience to come through all that and to be out there in the first team.
Osler's first involvement is a neat one. Lacerda away. Benny! Oh, that was like a bullet. And it fired off into the shed in the end. And not where he wanted it, in the back of the net.
But what about the ball from Osler? As it falls back down, Benny on the half volley just lashes at it. Just can't quite keep it down. Time is starting to run out.
Coley stabs it over the top. Lacerda waiting for Redmayne, who came and cleared it to safety for the moment for Sydney. Benny with the bright boots. It's a low delivery which Matthews sweeps over the sideline. Another change in the offing here. And it's coming from Sydney, so Mitch Glasson and Joel King, the men to come onto the field here. And 28 on the board there. This would be a surprise.
Yes.
Nathan Amanatides is coming. So the sub is subbed. Don't say that too often. I wonder whether he's got an injury. I don't think so, because they were ensuring to him that it wasn't a mistake. He'll be a little bit confused.
Well, it's not very often you see that, is it?
Well, maybe they thought, we'll stick him out there, see if we can get a goal on the break, and now they're into lock the back door and bolt it mode. Probably think that's what they're going for here, Sydney, as we head towards stoppage time. Osler. Clearance away from Sydney, so we'll find out how much stoppage time. Perth have been here, won that from this position before. 6 minutes. Applause around HBF Park. They're happy with that number. Lucio, clearance into Warland's chest. And then Alex King, he gets involved. Potentially fortuitous that for Perth. Well, here we go. Sydney just taking a little bit more time off the watch, much to the intense frustration now of the Glory faithful.
Well, I just wonder how long until Alex King would say, I'm just going to drop this ball. And just drop it and allow Perth Glory to go.
Oh, there's a poor pass from Osler and Coley. He is going to head into the book. Challenge he felt he had to make.
Well, it was an awful pass. Trent Osler, wasn't it? Coley just thought, he's away here, I'll have to do something.
Protect it. That's good. That's fun.
Dunme. Kutrumbis right down the heart of HBF Park to Williams. Warland around the outside. Tracks back, looking for Taggart. And Coley finds Warland. Lucio. The delivery to the head of Lacerda. Not been able to find their marksman in the last few minutes. Perth Glory. Glasson curls it across in front of King. Katrumbis. Well, he was certainly fouled, but Perth just have to go on with it and play with this advantage. The top of the hourglass. Almost empty here for Perth. Just over 3 minutes remaining. Season on the line. Warland, Williams. And the referee saying it was off Williams last. And that means Sydney get more time to take some crucial seconds out of this one.
Oh, it was a decent ball in, wasn't it? David Williams just ghosted in between the two centre-backs. Didn't quite get the desired contact on the ball.
Look at that shot count. That's almost the reverse of Sydney's clash with the Mariners on Saturday night. Remembering, though, that was 11 on 11. And that is probably the telling stat.
That is the telling stat. 28 shots, only 5 on target. All that pressure, all that creativity. They just haven't tested Andrew Redmayne enough, and when they have, he's been big and strong.
Jekka Dunley, who scored the equaliser for Perth. Latchman. Warland, they're just being restricted to balls into the box from wide areas at the moment. Perth Glory, and Sydney are handling them with ease. Especially Lacerda. Now Carluccio taking on Matthews. They've got a toe in. And Colley floats it to Osler. Osler cuts it across the face of goal, and there was no one at the back post. They still may get another shot here, Perth, but wow. What an opportunity created by the birthday boy.
Well, his previous 2 touches, he gave the ball away, but that was fantastic play. Ghosted into the penalty area. Nice little turn and a teasing ball across the goal mouth. Just no one in purple there to slot it away.
Katrumbis, an important win against the sideline from Glasson. And handed back to Sydney, who may yet go the other way. Grant powering on. Latchman back to Sale. So we're getting into generosity of the referee, Alex King territory here. Glory fans want it launched. Jekka Dunley. Colin, is there one final chance here? The deflection allowed Matthews to get in position. But that is it. Sydney FC on the road in the West, down to 10 men for an hour, have salvaged a crucial point in the top 6 race. And Perth Glory, their wait for a win here in the West against Sydney. It is going to go on for another season. 5 years and counting. What an enthralling second half we witnessed. Sydney absolutely out on their feet at the back end. Playing with 10 men since around the half-hour mark when Jake Girdwood-Reich was sent off. Alan Stajic will be no doubt disappointed that his side couldn't get all 3 points here. It's just been one of those seasons for Perth Glory. so close in so many matches. They just haven't been able to pick up the wins when required. Full time here at HBF Park. It's Perth Glory 1, Sydney FC 1. And that means that Sydney FC's unbeaten run against Perth Glory, well, it continues. They've had a really good recent run. And considering their body clocks will be letting them know it's close to midnight, that is a pretty impressive showing. Perth Glory left to rue missed opportunities. As we have a look now at the Alex Tobin medal race. And Kalen Majeka-Dunme gets the 3 points. Andrew Redmayne, he produced a sterling job at the back for Sydney FC. Musti Amini gets a point as well. And let's hear now from the player of the match. He's with Jacob Burns.
Well, Kalen, Gareth has told me that your nickname Special K, mate. That was pretty special tonight. Talk me through that. That's the second of the season, and you've had one exactly the same disallowed. What does that mean for you personally and also for the team?
Yeah, it's obviously a special moment to be scoring goals for the club, and it was a similar one to Jets that they disallowed, which was, I thought it was quite funny, but yeah, it means a lot to the team. I was a bit disappointed with the result, but we've got to keep going.
Now, that aside, you look so assured at the back, so comfortable, made it very, very difficult against a Sydney FC team that has a lot of quality going up front, but you seem to handle that so well tonight.
Thank you. Yeah, I was just trying to stay focused, read the strikers, and just organise everyone in front of me.
Well done, mate, and all the best for the remaining games, mate. Well done.
Thank you. Cheers.
Thanks to Kalen, thanks to Jacob Burns, and Macca. Well, he did the job defensively, and he grabbed the only goal for Perth Glory tonight.
Well, he did. He had a great game. Even when Sydney were pressuring them early on in the game, his defensive duties were well, but this was his crowning moment of the evening. He got up well at the back post. It was a wonderful ball in, but he gets up early and strong, and he connects with the ball, and there's nothing that Andrew Redmayne can do about that one. Fires it in the top corner, and a young man who thought about the celebrations and said, no, we need to go and try and win this. He had an outstanding game tonight, and he's a bright prospect for the future.
And Adam Taggart, well, he's probably just thinking back those opportunities tonight. He'll be gutted that he didn't take one of them.
Well, it was a frustrating night for Adam Taggart. He had a constant running battle with the referee as well, didn't he? Didn't agree with a lot of the decisions that were going against them. Obviously, won the foul that gave the red card to Gerwood Wright as he was probably away on goal. It just didn't quite work out for him. 13 shots in all for the evening. And barely troubled Andrew Redmayne for the majority of those. It would be a frustrating one for those guys in purple, not just tonight, but this season as well.
Well, as Alan Stajic said during the press conference, they've been in so many matches this season, and in the end, they just haven't been able to pick up the points to get themselves in that finals race. Well, let's hear from the Glory coach. He's with Burnsy.
Well, Stadge, I can see the frustration in your face, mate. Talk me through tonight in particular, but the season here, it seems to be the case where we're flying and trying to get back into games, but just not enough again tonight.
Yeah, look, probably the last two games, this one and the Wanderers game, were two games we dominated and had more chances than the opposition. Obviously, today was affected by the red card, but, that was all part of the game plan as well, trying to get in behind and put pressure on their press and, trying to isolate people at the back. So, it paid off in that moment, and unfortunately we couldn't capitalise. We created so many half chances and shots on goal, and unfortunately it didn't go in, but you felt like if we got one more, we'd got a couple, but, it was the same 2 weeks ago against the Wanderers, to be honest.
Now, they are a frustrating team, and they press so well from the front. It looked as though early doors, just with a little bit more quality in the final third, the opportunity for tags with Kamal's ball, it was exactly what it looked like. You guys were set up tactically to go in behind early to nullify that first press. Would that be the finer detail you think that would change the outcome of this game for sure?
Yeah, look, definitely. You can't high press and defend in behind. So, we had Joel up there as well early doors and had Bruce obviously popping in behind as well. Shush is unfortunately coming back from injury, otherwise we could have had him overlapping a lot more, so we had to protect him a little bit more today tactically, but he was such a presence on the field aerially that we had to have him on the pitch. But yeah, look, we definitely had a few opportunities there to capitalise, and the red card was all from, you know, set up play that we wanted to do. So, you know, unfortunately in the second half, what was it, 10, 12 half chances there, and we just couldn't get that go-ahead goal.
All the best for next game. I know they're coming thick and fast, mate. All the best, and for the remainder of the season.
Appreciate it.
Cheers, buddy.
Well, thanks to Alan Sajic and Jacob Burns. Yeah, a frustrating season it has been for Perth Glory. We are going to wrap this one all up right after the break.
Over the next month, football fans won't be getting a lot of sleep. In 30 days, we're jamming in 89 games. It's a monster April on Network 10 and Paramount Plus.
Courtney Vine gets on the score sheet.
There's the Liberty A-League Women's Finals, the race for the finals in the Isuzu Ute A-League Men's.
And he goes low and hard to the bottom left-hand corner.
Scottish Cup and FA Cup semi-finals.
But the young man, can he make himself a hero? He has done. It's Manchester United's quarter-final.
The AFC Under-23 Asian Cup, AFC Cup, Asian Champions League. All the big guns are lining up for a marathon month. Over 133 hours, whistle to whistle.
Winds up, and Russo scores.
April is football on 10 and Paramount Plus. Sleep is overrated.